Hey there, welcome to Shattered Dungeons, the show where we played Shattered Dawn and you guys figure out just how terrible of human beings we actually are on the internet for everyone to see. Welcome to week 2, our second session of the adventure. It is going to be wonderful and exciting, so definitely be prepared for that. This week we want to give a huge shout out to Emerald Dragon Games in Fleming Island, Florida. They carry Shattered Dawn, and they're just an incredible place to go and get video games, board games, magic. They have all sorts of wonderful things. They're in Fleming Island here in Florida. Check them out. They're just wonderful people with hearts for their community, for gaming, and they just want to see more people enjoy the relationships that are generated from playing these types of games, playing board games, playing video games. So definitely check them out. They're wonderful. They're awesome. Definitely worth getting in contact with. And if you're in Fleming Island, tell them that we said hey. Tell them we sent you. They would love to hear that. So other announcements and news and stuff like that. Definitely share this Twitch stream. When we reach 50 followers, we'll do a giveaway for PDFs of the book, hardback books, artwork, all sorts of fun stuff. But only when we get to 50 followers on Twitch. So it's definitely a big deal. Share it. Anyone you know who would like a stream like this, definitely share it with them. That's really all we have right now. So without further ado, welcome to Shattered Dungeons. Welcome to Shattered Dungeons, and we will kind of get started. Before we get going, let me introduce our cast. On my left, we have Messena, played by Forrester.
Hail.
I'm your Arcmaster, David. To my right, we have Caden, played by Dion.
Hello.
We have Reg, played by Jordan.
Hello, I'm Reg. Nice to meet you.
And new addition, we have Pax, played by Lauren.
Well, hello.
So, let us begin. Just to recap from our last session, you went to the forest after a summons was seen on the board in the city of Coldier. On your way to the mausoleum, you ran into each other and decided that it would be best to combine your skills and talents into into getting the quest completed by retrieving the lion's head totem artifact from a mausoleum. After fighting many skeletons and figuring out that there are traps in mausoleums, you come to find out, you left, licking your wounds and looking forward to the journey homeward. So we pick up where we left off. You make sure to handle the totem carefully during the journey home to Coldier. Pausus will probably want it in good condition, and it does seem fragile, not to mention the looming danger it may cause should it break. As you continue through the forest toward the end of the second day, Mr. Business, our Ilria's martial artist, exclaims, "There! An apparition! You shan't have the best of me! Cease your taunting and cower before I, Mr. Business! It's just good business!" As he runs off towards something you can't see, you follow. After some time, it's clear he is at a dead sprint, his martial training outpacing the group. After some time, you can't hear him or see any signs of which direction he went, and decide to carry onward without him. As you travel northward again, hoping to meet back up in Coldier, the group members stumbles upon a camp. And so, as our team of 3 travel northward, I'll move you guys up here. You stumble upon the camp as mentioned before. There is a single Woethel sitting by the fire in the camp. There are a couple tents around. Clearly, there is a fire going. It's later in the day. What do you say to this Woethel? How do you interact?
Oh, hi there. I'm Reg. Who are you?
How are they dressed?
Lauren, how is Pax dressed?
Oh, sorry. Pretty simply. No weapons to speak of. Shirt and pants. Soft boots. Leather gloves.
Okay. So that's how this Woethel is dressed.
So what brings you out to these parts?
Oh, hi. So, how are you?
We're pretty all right, but like I said a minute ago, I'm Reg. Who are you?
You can call me Pax.
Okay, I can remember that. Nice to meet you. What are you doing out here anyway?
Especially without any...
Well, I have a bow and arrows, so I'm not completely helpless.
You may not be aware, but where we came from, there was some skellies, and they got awfully mad, and I'm not sure if you would want to run into them all by your lonesome.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
Okay, then.
Would you and your friends like to come share my fire?
Well, it's an awfully friendly suggestion. I would love to have a little sit by the fire. So,
Masena... Go ahead.
real quick, guys, like we were talking about just a minute ago, I really do think we need to start some sort of buddy system so we don't lose another person. I would like to just go ahead and claim Caden as my buddy, because just a bang-up job he did with that ward, really saved my skin with them skellies, man, is all I can say. You're just a real mate, man.
Oh, it's no problem. You would have done the same for me.
I mean, if I could, I'm not real good with that magic-y stuff,
That's okay. You did most of the smashing along with Mr. Business. Without that, it didn't matter what I would have done. We would have gotten through it for sure.
A team effort. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Masena's gonna wait a moment, kind of awkwardly shifting with her too many swords on her belt, then up the fire. Well, I would have liked to choose Mr. Business, but since he's missing, as long as we're at the fire, guess I'll claim you, Pax.
Are we choosing traveling buddies?
Well,
You guys been coming friends so quickly.
Apparently.
What brings you to this forest and fire?
Money.
I mean, going home brought us here.
Going home with money?
Gonna go get the money.
Well, if there's money involved, I could be a traveling buddy if you need one.
Perhaps, at least until Mr. Business returns.
We're heading back to town, isn't that correct?
You haven't happened to see a big old cat man who's in looks like he's a fancy tuxedo, but it's really just his fur. You haven't happened to see that, have you?
I was most recently with the circus, but no, No Catman.
Oh, that's a shame. Interesting guy, that one.
Did you say you were traveling with the circus?
I was. Yes.
Oh,
What did you do at the
does that mean there's
circus?
one nearby?
Say again?
What did you do at the circus?
I was part of the crack shot high wire team. Thrilling women, children, men, warriors, with our high flying acts of daring do and excellent marksmanship. That was what I was doing with the circus.
We're just gonna whisper over to you guys. Does that mean she throws stuff at stuff?
I think she shoots stuff. Is what that boils down to. And she's good at balance, I guess, and she's not afraid of heights. Would probably sum it up.
That's a fair description.
Sounds like an interesting show. Did you guys use a net?
Of course not.
So she might be a little crazy too.
That would be cheating.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, as the night carries on, you continue exchanging stories with one another, trying to get to know each other, figuring out, past, future, what everyone's doing, what everyone's intentions are. Now that Pax is aware that there's money involved and is fully on board in joining the party for a cut, you guys decide it would be probably best to get some rest now. So you guys pitch some tents, and let me just pop these tents up right quick like.
How do you guys want to manage to watch tonight?
I mean, it's important for y'all to get some rest, so I could go first if you don't mind.
Are you still hurt though, Reg?
Oh no, I'm actually feeling pretty good after all that. His little wardy thing it really helped a lot. It did.
Actually, let me top you off beforehand. I'll go over and I'll ward him, and then I'll heal back up.
Okay.
And I'll repeat this process for everybody at the camp.
All right.
Cool. I like it.
Is that 40 points?
Yes.
Yes.
It absorbs 40.
So, just for everyone's awareness, when they take damage, just realize that you have a 40-point shield in front of you.
Unless you're like me with like a full set of armor on, it gives you an extra 40?
Yeah. So, you go to rest. After some time, everyone make a roll for your turn at the watch.
Is that going to be performance?
Just a random roll.
We add stamina to that one?
No, it's a straight 1d100.
Straight. Gotcha. Alright.
So what roll?
Just 1d100.
1d100. Sorry.
You're good.
Oops.
/ roll space 1d100.
And if you've done it recently, you can just hit like the up button to bring it back up in the window.
Okay.
So, during Pax's rest, I'm sorry, during Pax's watch, I should say.
My watch.
Yes. Roll a performance check now, Pax.
What's a performance check?
If you have the performance ability, you get a bonus. If you don't, it's just a straight 1d100 roll.
I do not have a performance.
Okay. So just slash
Do we,
roll
right?
1d100.
How do I know if I have a performance thingy?
It's an advancement you would have taken.
Oh, nope. Alright, so... There you go.
Awesome. Well, that's a good thing you rolled so high. Your huntress's training and the experience you've had hunting things in the wild, your ears perk up as you hear twigs cracking and heavy breath of people trying to stay quiet as they approach the camp. Your eyes dart around and you make out 6 figures approaching the camp. Daggers, weapons drawn, ready to kill each and every one of you guys in your sleep. Pax, you notice them. The rest of the party is dead asleep. What do you do?
There's 6 of them.
Yes.
Am I close enough to the others to wake them up without making a huge ruckus?
You're close enough to Reg to where you can nudge him real quick without alerting them that you know they're here.
Do I only get one action, or can I have multiple actions?
If you're trying to make it seem as though you don't know they're there, you can only get one action. If you're A-okay letting them know that I'm aware you're there and I'm going to do all I can to get my people awake, then you can wake each and every person up in your turn.
Okay. I want to alert everyone and immediately begin firing.
Okay. So you have 8 squares of movement per turn. So the way I'm seeing it, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, there's everybody.
Yep. So you can hit. You can definitely reach everybody, shout, push them, nudge them, wake them up, and take a shot at somebody if you would like.
Okay.
Is that what you would like to do?
So I have to... Sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
You can run and hit basically each character to wake them up on your turn, and then take a shot at one of the other characters if you'd like. One of the assassins.
Okay. I can't shout and wake them up without moving to them?
You can. They would just have to make a roll to see if they hear you. Pushing, like nudging, is a more immediate response, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, I think I would go here, 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 and then shoot this guy.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll 1d100 for the assassin that is coming up behind Reg's tent. And then make sure you add your 41 to that.
Oh, great.
Well, for those listening, that is a natural 2 out of 100. So definitely not the best roll in the grand scheme of things. You dart...
It's a warning shot.
But I get...
Yeah.
I get,
You get plus 41 to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 43, which isn't terrible. So your skill helps, but still, a natural roll of 2 isn't necessarily awesome. Pax darts north to Caden to nudge him to wake him up. She shouts, "Assassins! Assassins!" Darting to the left from Caden, she reaches Massena and says, "Assassins are here! Wake up! Draw your weapons!" Going over to Red, she goes to hit him, but really he doesn't move at all, considering his size. So she yells louder than the other two, "Wake up, Reg! There's enemies, there's assassins! We need to fight!" At that point, she notices an assassin behind Reg's tent, and she draws her bow and takes a shot at it. The assassin dodges the arrow, ducking behind the tent slightly. And with that, everyone needs to roll initiative. So initiative, for those of you who have not done this or haven't done this in a while, it's a roll of 1d100. You may spend up to your level in stamina to gain a bonus to it. However, right now that's only +3, which in the grand scheme of things might not make a huge difference. Let's see. So turn order. At the top, it looks like we will probably have Jordan, Reg, and then after that we'll have Messena. Pax, go ahead and make a roll. All right then. So we'll have Reg, then we will have Pax, then Messena, then Caden, and then the assassins. So, Reg, you have woken up. You've drawn your weapon. You're ready for battle. What do you do?
I just like to state that Reg was sleeping, cuddling his new battle axe, Bernie. Definitely at the ready. And this is the gentleman that was sneaking up to assassinate me. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that's my way out of the tent, anyways.
Correct.
So Reg is going to move forward. That's all very nice of you. Take a swing with Bernie. 7. To attack.
Say that again.
The overall roll was 60.
Oh, gotcha. You make a half asleep swing at the assassin, but clearly you're still a little bit groggy from your slumber. The assassin dodges out of the way. Your axe lands in the grass next to you. Thankfully, doesn't light any of the dry shrub on fire. And with that, we move on to Pax. Pax, it is your turn.
Am I just rolling again, or am I doing something?
You may move, make an attack, you may shout, you may cast a spell, whatever you would like to do.
I don't have any spells. Can I... Can I talk my way out of this?
You may attempt that, yes. What? How are you going to talk your way out of 6 assassins trying to kill you in your sleep?
Well, obviously they have some reason for being here.
True.
So, find that out. And, buy them out. Make some deal.
So, what are your exact words to them? This is really what I want to hear.
Okay, so I hold my bow up in the air and say, wait. We're evenly matched as far as numbers. Why don't you come closer and tell us why you're trying to kill us? And maybe we can tell you why you shouldn't try to kill us.
All right, roll a speechcraft check. which is 1d100 plus your speechcraft modifier, or bonus, rather.
Screechcraft.
Screechcraft.
Screechcraft!
Okay. And then I say plus 10.
Correct. Well then, the assassin leader, which is this one right here, shouts to his cohorts, "Halt! We may be able to do business with this one." The rest of the assassins kind of encroach a little bit, making themselves known. The assassin standing across the fire pit from you looks out and says, "We're listening. What's the deal you can offer us?"
While this is happening, I'd like to try and sneak out of my tent behind where this assassin is here.
Okay, roll a sneak check.
Yep, let me double check what my bonus is now.
Yep. You can roll as Pax is talking. What do you say, Pax?
Yep.
Oh, well, we can't offer you a better deal until we know what deal you've been made. Who hired you?
Well, I'll play your game. I don't know that you can give us more money than we're being given, considering the look of you. But I will tell you, the Emerald Guardsmen are the ones who hired us. Messena, you believe you are hidden as you try and sneak out the back of the tent.
Oh, the Emerald Guardsman. That is a prestigious job. How did you come by that?
Well, when you have these types of skills and abilities, normally you're sought out. I can tell you that our little ragtag group here, we've been doing this business for a while, and you're the first ones that have actually paused and said that you can offer us more money. So how much are you willing to pay?
Oh, indeed. You are not a ragtag group. Please come closer. Show me your skills.
You think I'm dumb? I can see that girl that crawled out the tent behind you.
Messena is going to stop slowly drawing her magic question mark sword.
Magic question mark.
You just stop me like, me? Little me?
What?
So what's your offer?
Our offer, of course, is whatever my fine companions were going to give to the person that hired them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and hit the guy over here.
Yeah, about that.
I'm trying to buy you time, you idiots!
You're right, we don't want them to get the Azure Gate.
Good thinking, Messena. All right, so this is wonderful. Caden, you swing at the assassin in front of you. Because he is unaware that you are actually right there, you get a plus 25 to your roll. You hit, dealing 41 damage to this guy, freezing his left arm.
Ooh.
So
nice. He can only make the one attack.
And then I'm gonna
now.
follow it up with the axe.
Okay, roll.
This one I'm gonna have to manually add the plus 20 to it.
You have light
So
weaponry,
it's that
right?
plus 20 plus the other bonus, which was I think you said 25.
Yep.
So
Do you have light?
147.
Do you have light melee advancements?
Yes.
Well, my friend, that's a critical hit on your plus 5 weapon. Or no, I'm sorry, plus 25 weapon. You deal an additional 50 damage, which kills this guy immensely. He is way dead. He is so dead.
Cannot.
So, but before
Can
he
I
drops,
take advantage?
yes, let me describe this real quick because Caden needs to hear this.
Sure.
In a almost flourish, you slash the assassin's arm, freezing it instantly. Spinning around, whipping out your axe with your other hand, you decapitate him instantly. And as he falls to the ground, you let out a happy sigh and say, "Ah, now that's good business." Pax, what are you saying now?
Can I take advantage of the distraction caused by Caden smashing this assassin to smithereens to take a point blank shot at the leader directly across the fire from me?
Also, be inclined to act.
Yes.
So what?
Now, let's do this. Everyone roll a stamina check. The way you roll a stamina check, declare the amount of stamina from your stamina pool you'd like to spend to add a bonus to whatever the amount is, a bonus to this roll. Now, if you roll higher than a certain amount, which I'll have determined, you'll be able to react quickly, seeing that Caden just attacked that assassin. If you roll lower, then that won't be available to you. So based on...
So that doesn't apply to me then. So
Yeah.
ignore my roll.
Yeah, Caden, not to you.
I think I
Pax,
succeeded that.
you have 100 stamina. Spend as much of that stamina as you would like on this roll. Just add whatever the number is to your roll.
I have 90 stamina. Do I lose that stamina if I? So I wanted.
You lose it temporarily. You do regenerate stamina over time.
Okay.
But as it stands for right this second. So, perfect. All right, you all, with the exception of Caden, can react expertly. So I'm just going to go in order of rolls. Reg, you're up first. As you see Caden punch, what do you do? Or, I'm sorry, swing his sword, what do you do?
Reg, seeing that, once Caden's getting into action, that means, there's no turning back. Reg is going to attempt to do an uppercut swing with the great axe to the guy in front of him.
Okay, roll. That's a hit. How much damage do you do?
That's 81. The 81 damage, including fire.
You cleave him in half. His clothes and skin burns from the inside out. And the two halves of his body fall to the floor. He is dead. Moving on. Pax, you can react next.
Do I just roll?
Yeah, you may roll an attack.
I mean, you could try and talk him down again, but I don't think it'll work.
Shut up. And I add my
The 41.
41.
Excellent hit. You hit, dealing 41 damage to the leader assassin. He's taken back a moment as the arrow flings directly into his rib cage. He was not expecting Caden to attack and you guys to react so quickly. He's definitely impressed by your combat sense. Masena, you're up next.
I am going to draw my magic question mark sword, and I'm going to stab this guy as hard as I can. Let's see. Just adding +6.
Do you have? Did you take any light melee advancements?
Oh, of course not.
Okay, perfect. Well, you roll a 32. The weapon you feel almost guiding you towards your target. So you know now that you've used it that it gives you a +10 to your attack rating when using it. You step forward to attack the assassin. The assassin, having seen Caden, Pax, and Reg, almost has a sixth sense about it. He steps out of the way just as you go to attack, swing down on him. The sword lands in the ground, and you lock eyes with him for a moment as he prepares to react to your attack. Now, with that, the assassins get their moves. The leader assassin is not happy with Pax. He leaps over the fire. Let's see what happens here. Yes, he leaps over the fire to attack you, Pax. So he swings with his short sword, missing you. You dodge out of the way. And he swings again with his second sword, hitting you for 24 damage. So you take 24.
Actually, she was warded, so wouldn't her armor rating be 90? If she's not wearing anything else?
That is correct. Thank you for that. So...
And I have a hand-to-hand...
Yes, we are taking that into effect. So as you go to, as he goes to land the attack, a magical force field that surrounds you, almost like opposed magnets, forces the dagger back a little bit. This assassin, having seen you killed his brother-in-arms, runs to you, Caden. He leaps forward with both of his daggers and goes to stab you. Missing the first time and almost stabbing himself on the second time. You're able to weave through his blows, honing or exemplifying the skills that you've learned in the mausoleum. The second in command assassin walks over to Reg to attack him. The first attack, Reg parries. The second attack hits, I believe. Right, Reg? 115?
Yep.
So you, the magical ward takes 24 damage. And then last but not least, Messena, the assassin that you've locked eyes with and are staring face to face, attacks you with his short sword. And if I remember right, 66 does not hit you with the ward.
It needs to be on my armor?
Correct.
Plus my ward, so yeah.
Correct. 93, I think that does hit you.
Yes.
So the ward takes 24 additional points of damage. With that, it's back to you, Reg.
Alright, Reg is just going to swing for the fences, so to speak.
Go for it. You hit?
Alright, so that's another 81 with fire damage.
You decapitate him instantly. Pax,
That's what you get.
Pax, your turn.
So I'm in hand-to-hand now?
You can still use your bow and arrow if you'd like.
missiles.
You can still use it if you'd like, or you can use hand-to-hand. Totally up to you.
Hand-to-hand gives me plus 50 for armor, but I'm not wearing any armor.
Correct. So you already have a 100 armor rating right now.
Ward on top of that.
So I'd be better using hand-to-hand than a bow and arrow?
You would get 2 attacks with your hand-to-hand right now, but you have more of a bonus to your arrows. You would get plus 25 with your hand-to-hand, or you would get plus 41 with your arrow.
Okay, I'm gonna go hand-to-hand.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2 attacks that have plus 25 to hit. You go to punch the assassin leader in the face. He dodges, ducks out of the way. But as you see him go down, instinctually you go to attack where his face will be, landing a punch clear in his nose, knocking him out completely. He lands on the floor, still bleeding from the arrow wound, finding it tough to breathe through his nose through all of the blood. With that, it is Masena's turn.
Yeah, she is. She's gonna try and pull her sword up, but kind of dive to the side at the same time. So she still doesn't really know what she's doing. So she's trying to like shoulder check this guy and then bring her sword down on him while they're both tangled up on the ground.
Okay. So you roll an attack roll, and I will have to beat that with a stamina check.
Boy.
This will be a fun one. He's only going to put in 20. Well, you go to shoulder check him, and he does not move in the slightest. You actually move back a little bit, and you are caught completely off guard, thinking he would move as though he was a simpleton and had no dense bone structure whatsoever. This was literally like shoulder checking a wall. You may still attack, but you do not knock him down or over.
Okay. So does my attack roll... Do I just make another attack roll exactly the same then, or...?
Yep, technically that was an unarmed attack roll.
Oh, okay. Well, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, it's fine. Now that does hit. So in fear, Masena slings her sword up to try and cut this guy. And in desperation, it works. You deal 5 damage to him. All right. With that, Caden, it is your turn.
All right, the guy that's directly in front of me, swinging my crystal sword.
Copy that. That is a hit. He takes 41 ice damage. You hit him on his upper thigh, and the whole thigh begins to freeze over, emanating from where the cut was. You now have your second attack action, should you take it. You go to swing the axe.
That was my axe swing.
Copy that. Now
that was my axe swing. It's actually 61. I don't know if that's enough, but okay. I should actually go fix.
Yeah. You try to pull the same maneuver you pulled a second ago on the other assassin. You've slashed the thigh of this guy. It's icing over. You spin around to go to try and chop his head off with the axe this time. However, the assassin has made a mental note of that move and ducks as your axe swings clear over his head. With that, he's going to respond in kind to your attack. And as your hand swings over his head, he's going to try and stab you. 75 does not hit, correct?
That's correct, because I have the 50 for hand-to-hand and the 40 additional armor for the ward.
Cool. The force field that's surrounding most of the group pushes his dagger away, and you're safe from another potential wound. The assassin in front of you, Masena, is going to attack you now. And thankfully, your ward protects you as well, flinging the dagger away from your torso area. With that, it's back to Reg.
So Reg would be hearing and easily look over and see this assassin trying to take out Masena, and is going to take the path of least resistance and charge through his own tent. Spear. He's going to try and spear this assassin with his axe.
Okie dokie. It works. As Masena and this assassin are in just a wonderful scuffle. It's 71, right? Or 81?
81. Yeah, sorry.
As Masena and this assassin are in a scuffle, you've seen her try and knock him down. You've seen him cut. Just in almost a friendly ownership, you come over and just skewer this guy right in front of her. There's a little bit of chaos that happens in front of that. Masena is shocked as the axe head pierces this assassin, but the assassin, still attached to the axe, is now no more. With that, Pax, it is your turn. You see one assassin left in front of Caden.
There's one assassin left, and I want to shoot him. That was plus 41.
Yep. You knock the arrow in your bow and let it rip. The assassin, unaware and iced over, takes the arrow right into the back of the chest, piercing his lung and killing him. The assassins are no more. Now, should you like to check them out, let me know what everyone does.
The leader was just knocked out, right?
The leader is suffocated or is choking on his own blood. He can barely talk. He is not long for this world.
I'm definitely going through his pockets.
As he's bleeding out.
I'm going to...
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do to stop this bleeding? Like, can I try to,
You can try to heal him if you would like. Now, Pax, while you're going through his pockets, you find an iron dagger. He's wearing punctured leather, a leather coat, if anyone would like to wipe the blood off it. And in his pocket, you find an envelope.
Ooh.
Caden, would you like to heal?
I can't heal him. I mean, all I can do is just bandage him.
Okay.
I
Masena?
don't have the ability to heal people.
Masena is going to take out a cloth and very carefully start to wipe her sword off. It's mostly dirt. And she's going to walk over here and she's going to speak to the two leaning over the corpse of the bandit commander. And Pax, what you did, I appreciate you helping us when it went sour, but what you did was ill done. We barely knew you, and that is not a good way to make a first impression.
What? You just saved your skins with your help.
Yeah. Yes, I think that perhaps my companions may have been able to handle it without you. I would not have. I thank you quite a lot, but I wonder what your intentions are here in the woods. If you begin your first interaction with what would be allies by betraying them in the only way you know how.
Huh?
You knew the only thing you knew of that mattered to us was what we had and what we were bringing back.
I see.
And immediately you used it against us.
Indeed. I used whatever I needed at the time. You still have your artifact. I was just guessing, grasping for straws. I'm assuming you have something. You haven't told me what it is.
She did buy us extra time to so that we could come out of the our bedding a little bit better prepared, though. There was a little bit of extra time there that allowed me to get my attack in.
It was asleep. We would just have been dead, wouldn't we?
They're dead. You still have your artifact.
These
And
are
everyone still has their traveling buddy.
Yes, I suppose so.
So I'm guessing, did this guy actually bleed out, or could I not stop it, or?
I have reconstitution. Is that a thing?
That's healing magics, but you don't know any spells.
Well, I'm using.
Reg is going to be going through the two guys that he murdered over here.
So, the assassin leader at this point has bled out. He's been trying to clutch at things, but between Messena and Pax interaction, he is dead now. You guys just did not pay him any heed. He's choking on the floor like, and you're just like, no, I mean, we need to talk about this right now. This guy does not matter. So, Reg, as you're going through the pockets of those, you found about 27 gold pieces. You found some more daggers, more leather coats, less punctures on these two. And then all the other assassins kind of have the same type of equipment. There's iron daggers, there's iron swords, there's leather armors galore, so if you need some, great. Now, Pax holds in her hand, while her and Messena are speaking, a note with blood on it. Clearly retrieved from the Emerald Guardsman leader, or the assassin leader. On the envelope, you see the wax seal. It's broken, but it's still attached to the envelope of the Emerald Guardsmen themselves.
The seal is already broken?
Correct. It's been looked at.
Oh. Can I read the note?
Absolutely. Opening up the note, are you reading it aloud?
No. I don't trust these people yet.
All right. It's a contract. And it is for the assassins to kill the other people that were in your group for an item.
Is that just for an item? Does it name the item?
It does. It is a lion's head totem.
Ah. So now I know what they're carrying.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to take some leather armor, but I leave the iron dagger.
Okay, dope.
Reg would take as much of that as he can get.
Okay, just everyone mark in your inventory tanned hide armor.
Tanned hide?
Yep, and then whatever you want it to be. If it's...
Am I going to need to get this fitted? I assume these guys were much bigger than I am.
Not so much, actually. You all generally have the same size and build. It might be a little bit loose, but nothing you can't tighten. Reg...
Except for poor Reg.
Yeah, Reg, you're right out. It's going to be super tight on you. Thankfully, you're not the largest of the Dargoth, but you're still significantly larger than these guys.
Yeah, Reg already has a full set of tan hide, but he'll keep a set on him for either backup or for selling later.
There you go.
Iron daggers would he have gotten?
There's probably about 6 overall. There's 6 iron daggers and 4 iron swords.
Does anybody want these daggers? Because I think I might have an idea of what to do with them if nobody wants them.
I'd like to hear what you'd like to do with them. I don't want them, but just curious.
Well, I'm thinking about you throwing them axes earlier when we fought the Skellies, and I think maybe I could do that with other stuff. I could throw these daggers, I don't know.
You most certainly can. Give it a shot when, practice, and hopefully you'll hit your targets.
So I'll take them then if nobody wants them.
So I start, once they're looted, I start dragging them out of our camp.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Miss Pax, is it, right?
Yes.
You said you was good at doing the throwing things at other things stuff, right?
Yes. Would you like a little help with your throwing knives?
Yeah. I was just thinking, is this something that I could try it out myself?
Sure.
Pax and Reg walk over to the other side of the encampment.
point, I want to share with them the contents of the note off the lead assassin.
Okie doke. So, you take a moment as you guys are recuperating after the scuffle. You show Reg a few tips and tricks and kind of leave him to his business as he practices throwing the knives at the tree behind Caden's tent, where Caden's placed all of the assassins' bodies. Reg misses a couple times, and you can hear the iron daggers sink into the decomposing flesh. At this point, at this point, Pax shares that the contents of the envelope, and after reading the contract, it's clear that the lion head totem is more powerful than each one of you previously thought. The assassins were searching for it and tracked you to your camp. The desire to make it back to Kuldir grows stronger, not only for the reward, but to be rid of the artifact altogether. At this point, you attempt to get some more rest before beginning anew. After another day's journey, you arrive back in Kuldir. The gate guards greet you and grant your familiar faces entry. You have never met Pausus, but someone should know where he lives. And at this point, we're doing a scene transition.
I want to say that Reg was furiously writing notes.
Okay.
The advice.
So just give me 1 sec to put everyone where they need to.
Do you want to learn how to do the high wire act too?
Really those sort of things. I'm kind of a big boy, but if there was some way I could figure out how not to get noticed by stuff as easy, I keep talking about them skellies, because boy, them skellies, they all just saw old Reg and thought, let me take a stab at him. If there was just some way to sort of, I don't know, hide a little better or something, that would be something else right there.
You could learn to sneak.
Oh, you can?
Sure, everyone can learn to sneak.
Do you know how to do that?
A little.
Give me some more pointers. Pulls up his quill and parchment again.
Reg is currently taking notes from Pax on how to sneak around. That is glorious. You enter the city gates, and you know that you need to look for Pausus. The city of Kuldir is a relatively large city, considering. There's a blacksmith, there's an inn, there's a spellbinder, all sorts of stuff, alchemist. You can kind of traipse around the city. You may go as a group, you may go individually, but as you place your characters and figure out where it is, we'll kind of take turns doing different interactions. So feel free to explore. When you get to a point that you would like to interact with something, just say, hey, I want to interact, and then we'll kind of go from there. So,
I have a question. I took some damage, right?
Correct.
I had like 40. Is that the red one?
Yes, red will be your health. So.
Okay.
Weren't you warded though?
Yes, you didn't end up taking any damage.
Still. Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay.
No, you did spend some stamina, so there's that. But
stamina is the green one?
Correct.
No, stamina is the blue one. Stamina is the green one.
Stamina is green, potency is blue, health is red.
Okay, I spent 40 stamina?
That sounds about right.
So Reg is not a proud man. Or Dargoth, excuse me. So he's just going to... There's a guard right there. He's going to figure... I'm just going to ask the first person I see.
Okay.
Excuse me, you there. Hello, my name's Reg. You are?
Reg, it's me, Frenhall. We've been friends for a while.
Right. Sorry, I'm kind of bad with names, you see. See ya. How are the kids?
Oh, good. I'm joking, Reg. We've only met each other like once or twice. But I remember you saying that you weren't good with names. I figured, why not? It looks like you've seen some trouble, so...
It's been a long couple of days. So, anyways, good joke, haha. But we're looking for a guy. Oh, jeez, guys, I'm bad with. Like I said, I'm bad with the names. Who we're looking for again? Pow wow.
Oh,
I don't know.
We have the flyer.
Yeah, him. I just shoved the flyer right in his face.
Pausus. I can honestly say I've never heard that name before. You might want to ask the innkeeper or maybe the bartender. Man, I have no clue who that might be.
I think I'll talk to the bartender.
Sorry I can't be of more help, Reg. Good luck to you.
They got something good to eat over there?
You travel north into the city towards the inn to the bartender, as I find where that may be. I'm lost in my own city.
This guy right here?
Oh, I went too
The
far.
one with all the plates?
Yeah, I went up the north road. My bad.
Okay.
You enter the bar, and you're greeted with the familiar sounds of tavern life. There's people being loud and boisterous, having a jolly old time. There's a couple people in the corner that are trying to be a little bit more low-key. A group of guards sits at the table in the far northwest corner, regaling tales of different things they've done in the past and remembering times of joy and times of sorrow with one another. The bartender is standing across from a patron sitting at the bar, washing some dishes, doing the things bartenders do when there's not a lot going on. Caden, you approach the bartender. Hey, Caden, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well today. Can you get me a brew?
Why, yes.
And one for each of my friends here. I've met some new people while I was out and about.
Greetings, friends of Caden. It's a pleasure to meet you. That'll be 1 gold each,
right.
good Caden. Pax leaps across the bar. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna scamper across the bar.
The bartender looks
I
at
am
you.
a performer after all.
True. The bartender looks at Reg. Reg! Amir, how have you been? I see you've met Caden and you're traveling together. It's quite an odd combination.
Oh, no, Caden is just like my bestest buddy right now. Oh, he does this thing that makes you all tingly, but it's like, makes you all safe, too. It's real cool.
Oh, that's just wonderful. It warms my heart to see you two traveling together. And Messena, it's been quite a while. Have you learned how to handle that blade yet?
It hasn't been long enough, I'm afraid. Do you have anything warmer than the spear? Spiced wine, perhaps?
Absolutely. Let me go to the shelf over here real quick. He goes back to the shelf. He kind of digs through a lot of different alcohols and ales and stuff like that. And in the rear of the bar cabinet, there's a dusty wine bottle. He pulls that out, uncorks it, pours you a glass. Here you go, Messena. Now you there.
Thank you.
You're one I don't recognize. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I'm just from around.
Ah, close to the chest, shady. I can understand that. So, I won't ask you any more questions, seeing as how you don't like to talk. Caden, what brings you here? You seem to have something on your mind. As a bartender, I can tell these things.
Definitely. Before I headed out, I picked up this flyer, and I slapped the flyer on the thing. It was a little in over my head, but Reg helped helped me out quite a bit, along with my traveling companions here that I met along the way. Thank the Lord, because I was definitely in too deep. But now we need to find this fella here.
Indeed. Pausus. Pausus. I don't know that I've ever... Wait a second, actually. Hey! You! Fingal!
One of the bar mistresses in the back comes hurrying down after being summoned. Why, yes?
Hello.
Oh, hello there. The bartender says,
Fingal! Pausus, tell me about Pausus. I think you told me a rumor, a story or something about a man named Pausus here in the city.
The bar mistress proceeds to tell a tale about a man who came to Caldir many, many years ago. He was only in town for one night and then disappeared suddenly. However, the house that he was staying in was locked and almost clouded in this shadowy aura. After some time, people began to steer clear from the house. You could almost tell it's more dilapidated than others. Recently, a man came out from the house seeking supplies to repair some of the damage that has been done over time. The odd part is no one has seen him exit that house before, so they assume it's been the same man who was here many years ago. However, it's been maybe a month since he's exited the home and returned. The home, the bar mistress says, is north toward the docks, kind of by the water, on the northernmost side of the dock. The bartender thanks her.
Thank you, Fingal. It's not often I ask for rumors, but it's good to know that you're keeping it held down, okay? Now, back to what you were doing. Sorry to interrupt your job.
I flip her a goal.
She thanks you as she hurries off to the next bar patron.
Well there, Caden. Seems you have something to go off of, at least.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, can I get any of you anything else?
You got anything good to eat right now?
I have the finest meats Caldir has to offer.
He goes over to one of the other stations he has and pulls out just an awesome spread of meats, boar and deer and all sorts of other animals. He lays it down now.
Now this here, I've been cooking this over a low fire for about 12 hours. The juices have all mingled together. It's delicious. Now this'll be about 3 gold for this whole tray of meats.
Guys, want some meats? I kind of want the meats. I'm just gonna
take meats.
Yeah, here. You take me gold. We gonna have some meats.
All right.
He takes the gold. He puts it away. He goes about his day. You guys feast. You devour the entire tray of meat. The bartender brings you a couple other things like some bread, some other like nuts and things like that to go with it. He checks in periodically, hoping that it's good, that you like it, and of course it's delicious. So after you all
for the beers and the wine.
1 gold each per person, so that's 4 gold plus the 3 is 7.
I paid the 3 for the meats for everyone.
And I got the alcohol.
Cool. So, what do you do now?
I guess we need to go investigate that spooky house, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to let's lighten our load a bit.
Do got stuff we need to get rid of, do we?
I want to reread that flyer. So did the flyer have like it didn't mention about like an area, town, or anything?
Nope, just
or
said
description
houses.
of the guy that we need to return it to. It just had a name.
Just the name.
Okay.
Does the letter that I have from the assassins give any clues for this?
Nope, it just said that the assassins were hired by the Emerald Guardsmen.
And again, do we know who that organization is?
None of you are real familiar. You can roll a potency check to see if you can drum up something in the back of your mind.
Reg may have picked something offhand from his old master.
So you all kind of talk in circles a little bit. After much deliberation, each one of you have a different piece of knowledge about local organizations to the Court of Dalnain. Around Culdir, you know that some of the cities have been frequented by different organizations of people, of thieves, rogues, assassins, etc. One of those organizations is the Emerald Guardsmen. Massena, you know from your dealings with the royal courts and stuff like that, that the Emerald Guardsmen are someone you contact if you need to get into a position of power, but you have no other option available to you. Reg, you have actually interacted with some Emerald Guardsmen when you were living in Mivra. Caden, you know the Emerald Guardsmen as retrievers of artifacts, that they have been hired by other organizations to retrieve special items from people, from places, and from the depths of things where people cannot normally travel. So you know that their skills and abilities lend themselves to this type of behavior. So that's kind of what you can come up with. Now, where does everyone go on their journey to try and find Pausus?
So in regards to that, one more question. Basically, the letter was for them to retrieve the thing, but they didn't know that we had it, right? It was just that they were supposed to retrieve it. So potentially, the guys that were after us just tracked us from the location that we retrieved it from and took it upon themselves to attack us. Not necessarily that they were
correct
hired by the Emerald Guard to kill people.
That is a possibility, though you also know based on reputation that that's not outside their realm of task. So you're able to kind of deduce that if the Emerald Guardsmen were tasked to retrieve something, the subtext of that would be at all costs. So if someone has already taken it, then they would take it from them by whatever means they deem necessary.
All right.
Do you think they might also be trying to hunt down Mr. Business too? I wouldn't want to think that he'd have to deal with that trouble too.
Potentially.
Oh, they definitely probably would want to do that, but I don't know that they split up. I mean, I think we may have gotten the ones that were after us. Hopefully there were no more.
Or the ones that we got Mr. Business first.
That's definitely a possibility.
I don't want to think about that. He's a cool fella.
What if they're just after whoever had the artifact? They would have left your Mr. Business alone, wouldn't they?
I mean,
they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't really believe him. He's like, I don't have the thing you're looking for. One would say that. I mean, we said that, didn't we?
All right, let's head out towards the docks, shall we?
Indeed. You travel out of
Buddy system, let's go.
You travel out of the tavern and head north towards the docks. You pass a fountain on your way. There's people all over the place going about their daily lives. As you reach the dock entry, you look to the right and notice that there is a very old house. It's larger than the houses around it, but it's definitely less taken care of. When you guys get there, when you actually reach it, I'll reveal the things and the stuff.
I'm assuming this is okay.
Yep, you found the right place. So,
this one looks the spooky part.
The door is ajar and a foul stench is coming from the home. Upon entering, the body of Palsus catches your gaze and you realize that the artifact is much more than a family heirloom. Someone wants it, enough to kill an innocent man for it. Figuring out what the artifact is may give some direction as to what to do with it. So, Palsus' body is in the bedroom where you can see a lovely little hammock set up. There's a desk with notes on it. There's some paintings and some other things about the home. There's some old adventuring gear. Around the fireplace, there's some things on the wall as decoration. The thing of most interest to you is how Palsus was killed. It wasn't that there was a struggle or a fight. It was clear that someone was lying in wait for him or had somehow got into the house and killed him from behind. He was not aware that he was in any danger until it was already too late. He's laying on the floor.
How old is the corpse?
It looks...
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. It looks fairly fresh, definitely within the last day. Seeing the size of the slash marks, you're able to tell it was most likely some of the Emerald Guardsmen based on the equipment that you've retrieved from your interaction with them. So, what would you like to do?
Dagger to the wound.
What's on the any papers of interest on the desk?
There's a bunch of notes and old musings. There's some poetry. Roll a performance check.
I hate to say it. Are we going to check him? Just be safe.
I think we should.
As Caden looks through the notes on the desk, he sees one that just describes the lion's head totem. It doesn't describe it in too much detail, mostly just about the gold trimmings and stuff like that. But at the end of the description, he starts talking to it as though it's some sort of sentient thing. Think like Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He's talking to the thing. He loves the lion's head totem. It's very peculiar how the writings start almost sane and normal and become these insane rantings towards the end about the relationship he has with this thing. So,
how long a time period is that from the beginning of the notes to the end? Are they dated?
Roughly. They're shorthand dates. So you can see over the course of the writing, it's maybe been a month tops. Clearly he's had this thing for longer than when his insanity started to kick in. So now, Pax, you said you were inspecting the body?
Yeah. Apparently it's what I do.
Roll
Dead bodies.
Roll a performance check. You bend down and inspect the body a little bit more. You look up at the group and notify them that there is no poison. There is nothing but a clean shot right to the back, calculating shot, knowing that it would take him out almost instantly.
If this man is dead, your Mr. Business might be in great danger. It looks like the Emerald Guardsmen came after anyone they thought might remotely have this artifact.
Something tells you
There
that
was still little people there.
something
When we
tells
met up.
sorry. Something tells you that you should inspect the artifact now.
Who is holding the artifact?
Good question.
Lee Caden. I didn't go in that room. I was watching the skellies.
And what
I was down the
protections
hall.
have you taken to protect yourself against the madness that this man seemed to experience from the artifact?
I mean, to be fair.
It was Mr. Business. I took the crystal.
A sinking
no.
feeling sets in as you realize that the one part of your group that took off in a mad dash as you encountered Pax is now loose in the forest with no idea where the artifact is or how to get it back. You think that now is as good a time as any to try and formulate a plan to find Mr. Business.
Wait, I almost bargained for your lives for an artifact you don't even have.
Apparently. That's funny.
I thought that was a distraction. I'm not giving up my stuff.
I'm gonna look over here in this big room, see if we can find anything that might help us.
Let's see. Go ahead and roll a performance check.
Not great.
Yeah, definitely not great. You see a painting, though. It catches your eye. It's of a forest. It's kind of odd
Nice.
because it's very
Nice something.
immaculately made. It's almost like it's coming off the page at you.
Is it
Hey guys,
Cade?
you guys see this? It's one of them pictures. If you squint kind of hard at it, you see something else. I think.
The 3D pictures. I love those.
I see a bunny. No, never mind. Did you guys find anything good?
Whoever else is looking at the painting, roll a performance check.
Oh my god.
Check. Bonus.
Messena, as you're looking at the painting, you notice that off to the side there's a little flap that's peeling up from the painting. Behind it is some more paper. What do you do with that?
I take it. I look at it.
You pull the flap up. You pull the paper out. It's more musing, more notes. As you're reading it, you realize that it starts to describe the artifact, the lion's head totem. However, in more detail, at the end of the description, is notes about a druid circle, rumored to have been protecting an artifact that matches the same item's description that are said to meet in the Forest of Hope. It's about a 4-day journey to the east. But you think that if you want to know more about the lion's head totem specifically, for whatever reason, that going to the Forest of Hope and meeting with those druids would be the thing to do.
I'll wave it around like a New York paper boy in the beginning of the 20th century. I think we have a lead.
Well, I guess maybe we need to restock. I'll inform the guards of what's happened here so that they can come and do their work. And we should formulate a plan to hunt down Mr. Business and find this area.
Excellent idea.
Miss Pax,
Yes.
do you have anything important on him? Anything else that could help us? I know you was looking at him.
No, just a clean wound. I don't remember. I don't think there was
He
any.
didn't have nothing in his pockets or nothing.
No, he wasn't carrying
That's
anything.
a shame.
Oh, well.
Right.
No,
do
there
take
was.
the,
Someone's gone through his pockets before me.
I do take the note that mentioned the description of the head as well as the ramblings that seem to be somewhat psychotic.
Okay. The air is still, not a common experience in this part of Erethe. As the sun begins to set, you rent a room at the inn, prepared to leave at sunup the following morning. You formulate a plan to figure out how to find Mr. Business and carry on with him, should he be alive, with the artifact, to the Forest of Hope. After some time of relaxation and storytelling and eating, your bellies are full and sleep beckons. The first day of the journey will come swiftly, and your thoughts drift away as you begin to rest. There are vivid images that come to you, your muscles tensing accordingly. Though you know this to be a dream, it feels extremely real. Your form materializes as do your compatriots around you. The group stands together in a musty corridor, the walls glowing with an ectoplasmic pulsation. The door creaks open slowly at the end of the corridor, revealing a ghastly figure standing over your friends' and loved ones' bodies. You're enraged and know you must either defeat this ethereal manifestation or wake your body. As our heroes deal with the fact that their dream has become a reality, a vivid nightmare, they deal with it as best they can, spending some time trying to wake themselves, and after many wounds in the dream that translate to cuts in real life, they are all finally awake, despite Reg taking the longest to wake up. Meanwhile, out in the forest, we meet up with Mr. Business. The group makes sure to handle the totem carefully during the journey home to Kuldir. Paustus will probably want it in good condition, and it does seem fragile, not to mention the looming danger it may cause should it break. As you continue through the forest toward the end of the second day, Mr. Business exclaims, "There, an apparition! You shan't have the best of me! Cease your taunting and cower before I, Mr. Business!" As he runs off towards something you can't see, you follow. After some time, it's clear he is at a dead sprint. His martial training outpaces the group. Mr. Business, you look behind you to notice that your group has abandoned following you, and you have no idea where they could possibly be. But you do know, at current, you are in the middle of the forest, trying to make your way home to Kuldir, in possession of the Lion's Head totem. So around you, you see trees, you see grass, and you know that you need to delve deeper going north to get out of the forest. So, without further ado, Edward, as Mr. Business, what would you like to do?
Alright. So I know that, classic Mr. Business, I've been distracted, but now I have no idea where my colleagues are. So, I think I will continue to venture north, because I know that, like you said, I need to get this Lion's Head totem back to everybody. So I'll keep, let's see, where are we at? I'm like in a nice big clearing, right?
Yeah, you're in a relatively large clearing. Looking around, you can notice some trees around you. As you go deeper north, you see more of like a fork off in the road. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out our view here so that we can kind of see the surroundings a little bit better. And you feel free to do the same on your end.
Gotcha.
You notice that the trees, for the most part, are pretty sparse. The pathways are pretty obvious. You definitely feel like you're on the edge of the forest, but you're not sure where exactly you are.
Okay, well, if I know I need to head north, I think I have a good enough sense of direction to know that I will just keep kind of going down this path. Let me see. So now it's a question of right or left.
Yes, as you continue northward, you notice a fork in the road. Do you go right? Do you go left? Both lead northward. You're just not sure exactly where.
Let's pick up my mind. I go right. No questions asked. Right.
All right, you continue on right. All right, you notice the pathway off to your right now that you've reached another fork in the road, or in the path, rather. It seems to go back south. The trees are kind of a little bit more dense northward in that direction, and you feel like you should probably go to your left.
Okay. then I will go with my gut instinct and go to the left.
Alrighty.
I'll put everything I own in a box to the left.
Let me kind of reveal some of this area for you. So there's more clearing, little dense trees. Roll a performance check.
1d100 plus 10. Ha! Very poor performance in the middle of nowhere.
All right. Keep going.
All right.
At that point, you notice a wolf. You both lock eyes, and it is very obvious it's hungry and has not eaten in a good while. It runs at you. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's running at not a full-on sprint, but fast enough to where you can get one action out if you need to.
I'm gonna do another performance check, but this time my performance check is to be as sometimes dogs are scared of cats. I've seen it, so I want to just do the classic arch my back and stand my fur up on the end and growl and hiss at him, just nope, go away, dog, don't do this.
Okay, go for
it. Still not great.
Well, a roll of 55 doesn't necessarily mean nothing. So it doesn't have any performance ability, but it is not intimidated by you whatsoever and continues its run.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna I'll stand by ready, and then as soon as it gets close enough, I think I'm just gonna do a stunner on it, and I'm gonna kick it in the chest, and then try to grab its head and slam it down onto the ground.
Okay, so it's running at you, and it's gonna try to bite you while it's running. Let's see, 76. I believe that doesn't hit you, right?
I'm trying to remember where I put my...
If you have hand-to-hand, you have a 100 armor rating.
Okay, then yeah, I do have a 100 armor rating, so no, it does not hit me.
So roll a performance check for me.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. I realized these are wrong. Boop. Alright. Boom. Damn, I am not doing great at performance today.
Well, that's better than you needed to be. So a 53. As the wolf's running at you, it goes to bite. You're able to dodge out of the way and kind of almost do a flip parkour style over the wolf as it runs past you. You land behind it about right here. Let me adjust something real quick, but you can go ahead and take your action now.
Okay, well now that I'm behind it, I want to do... Essentially, I just want to grab it by the tail and just say, bad dog, and then try to swing it and throw it away from me.
Okay. Now, it's a pretty large wolf.
Okay.
So I don't know that you'll be able to lift and throw, but you can definitely try, some sort of menacing grapple.
In that case, then, if I didn't realize how big it was, what I'm going to try to do then instead is do a German suplex, where I'm going to grab it from behind and bend backwards to slam it into the ground behind me.
Okay, go for it.
More of a physical attack. So that would be 1d100 plus, how much do I get for my unarmed attacks? Is...
I think it's 35.
Plus 35. Where are those? There we are, yeah. Boop.
Excellent hit. You deal 35 damage to it. Now, are you going to try and kick it as well as you do that move?
Yeah, I guess, because I do have an extra attack, so I can attack twice with two hands. So yeah, I'll slam it, and then I'll quickly spin over and then try to knee it in the gut as well.
Nice, go for it. Excellent hit. You do it. So as you fling it back over behind you, you land a good attack in it. It's going to try and bite you in retaliation.
No.
But you're able to kind of maneuver its jaw away from any, flesh showing right now, or in your case, fur. So you kind of guide his nose away from you. It's your turn.
All right, and then now in that case, I will give it 2 good punches to the nose. So, I know that dogs don't like that, so I'm just going to go both punches just directly to the nose.
Go for it.
All right, so there's 1. Ugh. And there's 2.
Nice. You deal a pretty good amount of damage to it. It's definitely not happy. It starts to back off a little ways. It's kind of snarling. It's going to try and do a performance check to intimidate you. I'm sorry, that should just be 23.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't great.
Because, I guess I would do a performance against it to be like, oh, puppy doesn't want to play anymore.
Okay, go
Guess
for
you
it.
can't handle the business room or boardroom.
It definitely cowers back more. Now, do you want to try and kill it, or do you want to let it go and lick its wounds?
No, as a fellow animal, I feel like I have, even though I don't like dogs, I was kind of raised by dogs a little bit, so I have compassion for them, so I'm like, all right, get out of here, puppy. You were wrong.
Okay. It takes off into the forest and kind of goes about its life, leaving you scot-free. So, where do you go from here?
First off, I want to find the closest tree, and I want to rub against it to make sure my scent stays in the area. To be like, yeah, don't forget about me, dogs.
Roll a performance check. Excellent
Boom.
roll. 94. All right, you continue on. Where are you going?
So it looks like I should go to the right up here, because that keeps going north.
Correct.
So I'll go kind of this way.
So as you continue northward, you're able to spot, it's very obvious, over on your left, continuing northward, you spot a ruined shack house thing. And these are a little too large, but you can see kind of wandering around that there are two, they look like thieves, they're hooded cloak, they got daggers at their side. You're not sure exactly what they're doing, but they're clearly looking for something.
Okay. I'm going to tap into... No, I'm going to play more to character, which is Mr. Business doesn't sneak around because, it's going to be business time soon. So I just kind of walk to the edge of the clearing, and I just go, excuse me, what are you gentlemen doing?
They both kind of turn and go, we're looking at this old shack here. What's it to you?
Well, I'm on my way north, and I was crumbling through, and it's very weird to run into people out here. I lost my own friends along the way, and so I've been alone for a minute, but, I don't know, maybe I can help you guys. What exactly, and I'll start moving a little bit closer as I'm talking, what exactly are you looking for?
We're looking for this thing. It kind of looks like a lion. It's small. We're told it's in some kind of mausoleum. We haven't quite found it yet, but we found this shack and maybe thought, this looks like a place someone would bury bodies.
Interesting. I do not think this is a mausoleum. Maybe the mausoleum you're looking for is, further south. Maybe. I think that might be where you're heading. I may have heard the same stories.
Roll a speechcraft check.
I just took speechcraft, so I also have that.
Wow. That's a natural 100, which is an automatic success. They kind of look at each other.
All right then. Well, thanks for your help, man. I honestly didn't expect to find someone so nice and so knowledgeable about this forest just walking around here. We'll be right off on our way then. You have a merry old
enjoy
day.
yourselves. I love when business gets handled properly.
They straight up leave. You give them a great pointer. They take you up on it. There's this ruined shack in front of you. Clearly, it used to be a larger home. It's kind of obviously in ruins now.
Mm-hmm.
You see some trimmings around it. There's a couple, old cupboards and things like that. A lot of it looks as though it's rooted or maybe grown over. You can attempt to search it to see, but you're not super confident that you'll find anything necessarily.
Okay, I mean, I will search it just a curiosity of the cat kind of thing.
I got you. Roll a performance check.
Boop.
Nice. Through your rummaging around, you're able to find about 98 gold.
Nice. I mean, I will always take it. Every little bit helps in business.
That's true.
That's what they taught me in business school.
Spend money to make money, right? So, looking around the forest, you can try and go through the trees if you'd want, but the path kind of ends here. So, up to you.
All right, and then I'll probably then just go back and loop around.
Okay.
I'm not, I don't think I want to spend time trying to
Yeah, let me get you.
Okay.
So you travel all the way back to that first clearing way back here. And so you say to yourself, you know what? Time to go this other way. Right was wrong, maybe left will be right.
Yeah. I go to the left.
All right, well, carrying on. You see off in the distance, now that you're, keen on your senses, there's another wolf kind of just hanging out over there, all the way to your west. You can kind of do what you'd like with it. If you want to attempt to take it on, great. But if not, that's totally cool too. You can try to sneak through.
Nope, Mr. Business does not sneak. He walks clear into the middle of the clearing and says, "All right, puppy. Unless you want to be business time, you better go about your business."
Roll a performance check.
Nope.
Well, you never know. So the wolf, having just spent some time with its buddy that got pounded by you, smells the smell that was all over its friend who is licking its wounds and in critical condition, and starts to back off. You feel like you can maybe, shout at him and he'll run off. So you can
I'll just say, "Go chase that ball, dog."
Okay, roll. It works very well. You kind of arch your back and get as tall and big as you possibly can muster, and just start hissing like you did before, and it works. The wolf runs off to find shelter and get away from you. So, as you kind of round this corner, there is a shack, another shack. This one looks in better condition. It looks more like a home. And you can see some sort of ethereal, ghastly figure almost hovering right in front of it. You're not sure exactly what it is. It doesn't look super threatening right now, besides the odd thing that it is a spirit floating midair. But you have a sense that you could talk to it if you really wanted to.
Oh, Mr. Business. He's gonna go handle some business. Be like, "Yo, what's up, Ghost? How you doing?"
The ghost turns its gaze towards Mr. Business. Hello, Mr. Business. I've been waiting for you.
Oh, God. How did you know my name?
I am tied to the lion's head totem that you carry so happenstantially with you.
Ah, I see. So you're about your business, too. I appreciate that. I respect that.
I seek to educate you.
Okay.
Give me the totem and
I may replace it, and I will tell you its secrets.
Okay. I walk up and just I'm just very curious about what will happen, so I just give him the totem.
He takes the totem, he holds it in front of him, and it begins to glow even brighter than it was from when you guys left the mausoleum. He turns his gaze from you to the totem. The linings around it almost seem to dim with the light that's now glowing from it. He begins to speak. This totem is no mere totem. It houses the soul of one who I know. This totem shall be guarded. It shall be protected. Because if it is not, many people will be harmed.
People getting harmed, they can't come to my shows, so I'm all for that. Let's protect the people.
He hands the totem back to you, and his form begins to dematerialize. As he fades from existence, he says, protect the totem at all costs. It is your responsibility now.
I feel like if he, does he disappear right after he says that?
Basically.
I think Mr. Business just, stands there for a second, looks around the clearing, and just goes, wow, I don't think my new friends will believe this at all. And then I'll just put the totem back into my bag.
Okay. Now, the totem kind of diminishes its glow as the spirit fades, but you feel a sense of power coming from it that you didn't before. Based on, the stories and rumblings you've heard, as well as seeing as how it kind of works, you feel like if you channel enough of your own potent energy into it, it can probably illuminate itself to that same glow. So maybe to that of a torch or similar type of object.
Cool. All right.
So the shack in front of you looks really run down. There's holes in the roof. There's wooden boards that are rotting all over it. You can search it if you'd like, though, again, you're not super confident what might be in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always take a chair. Again, curiosity of the cat. 92.
Nice. Very cool. You find a spell tome of Cold Gust. You can put that in your inventory if you'd like. You find a couple gold pieces floating around the house, 93 to be exact. And then you also find a crossbow, just wooden crossbow.
Nice. Sorry, spell tome of cold what?
Cold Gust.
Gust. And then how much gold? You said 70 something?
93.
Oh, okay. 93. Boom, boom, boom. No, I keep hitting the wrong button. All right. And then a wooden
Crossbow.
Crossbow.
Yep.
Cool.
After you spend maybe 20 minutes searching through the shack pretty thoroughly, you exit again, and looking forward, you notice that the path kind of clears more northward again. You feel that you can probably make your way down that path, and you should be pretty fine.
All right. I will head north down this path.
All right. Let me just illuminate some thingies for you.
I do think I keep just an ear out for any wolves in the area, just to be like, all right.
Okay. Roll
I know they're around.
Yeah, roll a performance check. Dang. You are incredibly perceptive. To the north of you, as you kind of see the clearing leading out to the main plains area and out of the forest, you see two more thieves. You're not quite sure if it's the same ones or if it's a different set of thieves, but they're clad in the same kind of garb. On your right, you notice just out of the corner of your eye some ruined walls of what used to be a home. They look to be of stone instead of wood, as the other shacks have been. You're not quite sure what's beyond them, but you can make your way through. The thief-looking characters to the north haven't noticed you, and they seem to be talking amongst themselves pretty intently. You're pretty confident you can get fairly close to them without them noticing.
Okay, yeah, I think I will. I'm not gonna hide, but I won't announce myself until if they're not paying attention. I'm gonna keep walking closer and closer until they do notice me, and then I'll
okay,
pronounce myself.
Yeah, you get about right here, and they notice you finally and turn and say, "Aye, who we got here now?"
Clearly you've not heard of me, but my name is Mr. Business. I'm world renowned.
Mr. Business? World renowned? I don't think so, mate. What you doing here?
Well, I've lost my companions. I'm making my way through the woods. I've got some business to attend to in the north. So I'm just heading that way, and I come across you fine gentlemen talking in the woods.
You say you lost your companions?
Yes.
Well. You're in luck, friend, because we've been sent to find you on their behalf.
Oh, perfect.
Now, the one thing, we do need the artifact that you have.
Huh. I don't think I told you I had an artifact.
No, but you see, our employer knows that you have an artifact, so we're gonna need it.
Gotcha. What you're saying is, it's business time. And then to the guy on the right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick him in the stomach and then uppercut him as he bends over for my 2 attacks.
Okay. Go for it.
Give me 1 second. There we go.
So the first one, you go to punch him in the face, and he kind of dodges out of the way. The uppercut, though, lands perfectly, so you deal 35 damage to him. He goes to respond in kind. He draws his dagger in an upward cutting motion to try and nail you with it. It doesn't quite work. Your keen senses, you leap out of the way. The other one thinks, oh, I'll get behind him, because, that's going to be way simpler to attack him if he can't see me. He goes to stab at you. You're able to block him with his hand and kind of guide the blade away from your body. With that, it's your turn.
All right. I think, so the guy I just punched, I'm going to try to punch him once more in the gut and then try to grab him and do another, or maybe actually the whole move will be, I'm just going to try to grapple him and then slam him behind me in a suplex style, but trying to hit the guy behind me as well.
Gotcha. Go for it.
All right. So there's the first attack.
That is a critical hit, my friend.
Ooh.
So you punch him in the face while trying to grapple him, and he just goes dead weight on you. He's almost unconscious, or you almost killed him with that hit. So you have him grappled. Go ahead and roll to throw him into the guy behind you.
Okay, well, is that a performance?
No, this will be just a regular attack. He's a
and I think
weapon.
I will say, you must see to your colleague as I throw him at the other guy, which, not great.
While trying to do that, he's picked up on what you're doing. He steps out of the way, and you throw this guy. You throw him about right here, and the impact of the ground, he's dead. He takes 5 damage from that, and he's done for. The other thief pulls out a second weapon and goes to slash at you twice. Both times you're able to expertly dodge out of the way. It's your turn.
I just kind of give him a laugh and I say, well, I think you're late for your meeting, and then I'm going to attack him. I'll do the, I think I want to jump up, kind of like jump off of him to knee him in the face, and then like punch him down, like kind of give a cool. That was my 2 attacks. Just adding some flavor.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh. Well, the first one looked good.
Great.
I think I'm gonna land funny.
So the first one, you right into him. Totally a hit, no problem. The second one, you go to hit and you're not quite sure if it was you didn't put enough force into it or what, but it lands, but it really doesn't do anything. It's like you misjudged the distance almost, and you kind of just tap him at the end of your extension.
Gotcha.
His turn, he's going to use this opportunity to try and go for your head. You're able to duck out of the way. And the second attack, he's still just kind of winded from that first one and just way over exerts himself. And he leaves himself pretty open, but his armor may help him. So back to you.
Gotcha. Then what I'm going to do, especially if I had to duck, I'm going to kind of roll around, like stay within the, right next to him, but kind of roll around to then come and punch him in the back of his knee to try to get him down on the ground.
Oh, nice.
So with that first attack, I'll do that.
You go to punch him, but it doesn't quite do anything. Whether it be he's just a little bit more muscular in the legs than he lets on, or the armor is helping him, it doesn't work.
Gotcha. Well then, so for my second attack then, I'll sweep the legs, and I'll try to get him down onto the ground.
That works completely. He falls to the ground. He takes 35 points of damage, not only from your attack, but also falling. While he's on the ground, you're kind of on the ground as well. He's going to stab up at you, which hits very well. And with the second attack, you're able to, dodge it while you have a sword in your chest. You take 50 points of damage.
Whew.
Yeah. So you are definitely feeling it, that wound there. But it's back to you. You can tell you guys are both exhausted enough and bleeding enough to where you feel like you're at a stalemate right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I give like a little cough and go, oh, this is not good for business. But I'll tell you what is good for business. And I'm going to stand up and then try to give a people's elbow. So I'm going to jump and then try to just elbow him in the face.
Do a performance check.
Boop.
Perfect. Roll your attack. Oh. You go to do the people's elbow, and you just land on the ground. He rolls out of the way. He's standing up now in response to that. Are you going to try and do a second attack? Maybe try and kick him or something?
Yeah, I'll try to kick from the ground, just kick him up kick him up in his stomach.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
That works. He kind of doubles over a little bit. He's still standing. You're on the ground. He's standing on top of you, doubled over. With his swords, he's just going to try and fall on you. Use all the momentum that he's got right now. And with one of the attacks, he lands. The larger of the swords lands on you. And he is just on the ground. He's coughing up blood. You know that he's almost done for. Your turn.
Just kind of while we're both just on the ground, I'm just going to just Ric Flair him right in the chest and just try to smack him as hard as I can with the back of my hand.
Go for it.
Trying to stop his heart. Nope.
Oh no.
Oh.
So you're both on the ground. Now you do have the second hand.
Yeah, I think if I just miss with that, then I'm just gonna get mad and just try to just bring my other hand just down on him, just punch him as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No luck. He, like I said, he's really feeling it. So he goes to swing at you. It's just a labored swing. It really doesn't do anything. There's almost no force to it. Same with the second one. It's a little bit harder because the blade is lighter, but it's still just he's clutching at straws at this point. You know, he almost wants to give up, but he doesn't want to die. So
Yeah.
your turn.
Well, I think I will inform him I have other business to attend to. I am done with this meeting, and then I'm just going to like throw 2 punches and try to just get him out.
Yeah.
There we go.
You did it. He is completely done.
Yeah.
He is unconscious. Whoops. Unconscious. Pretty much dead. So there's buildings behind you. You can loot the bodies if you want, but in front of you is the wide open area between the forest and the main road that you see.
Yeah, I think I will. Again, curiosity. I know I'm injured, but I'm gonna loot these bodies to see if there's anything, valuable. I'll roll a performance check.
Between the two of them, you find 121 gold. They also are wearing tanned hide coats, and they have iron swords and daggers, things of that nature.
Okay. I'm not interested in their coats, and so I have no, I don't need their clothes. I have my ring gear. So I will, I'll leave them be, but I am interested in this house over here, so I kind of want to go investigate these walls before I leave the forest.
Roll a performance check.
Curiosity. Killed the cat. 78.
You notice the familiar sounds of skeletons.
But skeletons I know also are easy. And maybe those dogs would like some bones. Maybe we'll be friends that way. So I'm just gonna run around this corner, and if the first person I see, I'm just gonna make like a running attack at them, just like like screaming the whole time, like it's business time, and just throwing punches.
Go for it. So you're attacking each one?
Well, I guess I would run past the first one. I guess I should clarify. I'll run past this guy and throw that first punch, the 61.
Okay, so that hits, and he just, it's like all the magic holding his bones together just is gone.
Yeah, and then I guess given that, if I can make the movement, I would then keep running toward this guy and try to land my second attack on him.
And that also works, same thing. Now the skeleton turns around over here and is like, what's going on? He labors his movement forward. 1, 2, 3. He gets about right here. And then, he's slowly trying to get toward you, but at the end of the day, he's a skeleton and can't travel as fast. So, your turn.
Yeah. So then I will do the same where I'm going to run and try to jump off of him to then knee him in, like, his head.
Okay. It works. And with that, just running as fast as you can, trying to not let these skeletons get any opportunities. You have piles of bones on the ground. Now there's a chest in front of you that you notice kind of around this wall right here. That's in front of you. It's hidden by the stone of the wall, but there's also some overgrown shrubs and things on it. You can try to open it. You can try and search it to see if it's trapped or anything like that, but you're really unsure right now.
Yeah, I will. Well, so I actually, because cats like shiny things, I also took an ability in lockpicking.
Oh, nice.
So speechcraft and lockpicking. So I do actually, but I will, learning from my previous mistakes, I think it was in this show, I am going to search for a trap. It's like, okay, I may be playing the character, but I'm not dumb. I want to figure out.
Roll a sneak check.
Sneak. Okay, so that's just D100.
Mm-hmm. Really good roll. To the best of your ability, you cannot see any indicators that there are traps.
Great.
Using basic reason, you realize that some of the overgrown shrubs and nature around it would have triggered a trap if there was one.
Okay. Nice. So I can just infer like, oh, if there was a trap, it's long gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I will then try to see if I can open this chest.
Go for it.
Is that a performance? Or no, a lockpick?
Yeah, lockpick.
Okay. I still get +10.
Nice. You try to lockpick as best as you can, but for whatever reason, all the things that you've trained with, it's not working whatsoever. Finally, at long last, you just give up, put your lockpicking tools away, and just try and lift up, and it just comes loose. The shred kind of pulls with it. It wasn't locked at all.
Yeah.
Inside, you find a shirt. It's really well made. It's kind of ornate. You notice some runes and things on it. You're not quite sure what they do, but you know that there's some sort of magical property about this item.
Okay, I will add it to my inventory because I have some magical friends now. I'd like, maybe they can take a look at it and figure this out.
Sure.
And then before I leave the forest, I definitely want to pile like a bunch of those bones. I want to like make sure I get my scent on them and then like leave them in a pile for the puppies.
Perfect.
It's like they know, like, not only can I beat the crap out of them, I am a nice cat too. Like, I like dogs, and so I want to make sure they understand I left them some gifts.
Well, that's very kind of you. So you travel onward and upward and back out north up here. As you exit the forest, you notice that there is, like I said earlier, a large plains type of area leading to the main road. As you jump on the road, you notice way off in the distance where Coldier should be. You're able to get your bearings and realize, okay, I need to go that direction. So you follow the main road all the way to the city gate. And that is where we're going to end for right now. So,
all right.
Let us do a little stream outro here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this thing. Like, share, follow, all of those things. As soon as we get to 50 followers, I know you can notice, whoops, right there, that when we reach 50 followers on Twitch, we will do a giveaway for all sorts of stuff. So definitely share it. Definitely tell people about it. We can't do this without your support. So big thank you to those watching, those following, and especially our patrons over on Patreon. If you'd like to become a patron on Patreon, follow the link. Anything helps. So thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your week.
Goodbye.